Hi friends, thank you for joining me today. While I had my pack unloaded here, I thought I'd go over my current kit. This is my kit as of March 2024. This is for a late winter, early spring overnighter here in southwest Pennsylvania. Really the only thing stopping this from being a multi-night kit is the addition of more food. That's really the only difference between taking as is and going into the woods for an evening or going out for a weekend or multi-day trip. So since everything's out, what I'll do is I'll go over everything as I pack it back into my bag. So start off, my kit right now is my pack is a Frost River Timber Cruiser. This is the large version. It's a very large cavernous bucket style pack, and we'll start packing up. So the first thing I'm going to put in my kit is my wool blanket. This is a 100% wool Hudson Bay blanket. You can tell by the logo, and I think you might not be able to see it, but this is, right there it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So this is the equivalent of a king queen style wool blanket. This one is roughly 100 inches by I think 106 inches. So this is going to be able to fold over, have multiple layers of wool on top of me and under me. So we'll start off with that. We'll put this in. That's my wool blanket. So we'll open this up. Stick it in. Take this side, just get it shoved down to the base of the pack. So there we go. Wool blankets in. Quite a large blanket, but it does give the pack some structure. Sits right there nicely in the bottom third of the bag. Next up, I will pack my axe, and this is a Grants Force Brooks Scandinavian Forest axe, the 26-inch version of their axes. I've carried this one for probably since 2015, so going on 9 years now. It served me very well. This is the only Grants Force I've ever owned. I have a couple Wetterlings at home, but this is what I carry when the weather's a little bit colder outside. So we'll mask back up. And this rides right in the inside of the pack. I take it, pull the wool blanket a little bit to the side, shove it to the bottom, and it goes right there. Next up, that goes on that side as well, is my saw for this time of year, and that is a Silky Zubat. It's a little bit of a downgrade from a takedown buck saw, but in my experience, this will outcut any buck saw under 24 inches. This thing just tears through hardwoods and softwoods alike. Since getting into a couple of the Silky saws, they have made me a true believer, and this is probably my favorite of all the Silkies, the Zubat. And I love the fact that it comes with a hard plastic sheath. It mounts onto other backpacks. For me, in this kit, it rides behind the cinch strap and down in this stash pocket behind the water bottle pocket. It fits nice and perfectly down in there. After that, we'll take my strap. It rides in the same pocket down with the Zubat. Next up, going down the pack, we'll add my cook kit, and this is a zebra billy pot. This one This is a larger version because it's colder. Normally, I run a 14. This is my new 16 centimeter. So this is the biggest one they make. I don't usually carry that much water in, and I'm usually near a stream, so I go with a larger pot just to make boiling water a little easier. And I like having the bigger tray to make bread, pizzas, different things in there. Under there I have a stainless, it's going to be a pain to dig out, but it's a stainless steel GSI kettle. That goes there. Then I have my titanium spork in there, and my pot lifter to go with the inner plate of the zebra pot. My cook set, being one of the heavier items, because it is stainless, rides on the opposite side of my axe to try and keep the weight evenly distributed. Next up, I'm going to go with the next heaviest items, my water bottles. This is a 64 ounce clean canteen. I'll slide it right down in there, and that'll ride down there. And on top of that, I put my first aid kit. I always want my first aid kit relatively easy to reach and be very, very quick to and not buried in my pack. This is a Tough Possum gear. I think this is their boo-boo pouch. It's pretty much set up solely for blood stopping. I have a cat tourniquet in here, Israeli bandage, some tape, and some absorbent gauze pads. And that rides right in the side pouch because I want that to be quickly accessible in case of an emergency. Okay, so that's packed up. Next up, other side, we'll go with my other water bottle. That is the stainless steel Nalgene. Slides right down in, and on top of that, I just have a Yeti tumbler. I don't really care. It's a little heavier than one of the single wall Sea to Summit cups like I normally carry. When it's cold out, I like to have hot chocolate, and I like it to stay warm because I'm a slow drinker. So I like to have the insulated Yeti cup. Along with that, I always have my flask with me. This is a rag proper flask. I think we have some Jack Daniel's single barrel barrel strength in here. And that goes right there next to it. So now that we have the extent of the organizational pockets filled up for the pack, we'll start filling up that big bucket inside. This is just a folding tray from Better Bushcraft's 1790 survival line. I like having this with me. It lets me do shavings, gather tinder, and have my fire lays with my shavings and small stuff all prepped and sitting to the side. I like it folds flat, and I just leave that. That's going to ride right in that front slip pocket. The other thing I have in that front slip pocket is a Tough Possum Gear survival scarf. This is the standard size, and this is a signal piece. I got the gray with the orange interior. I'll just fold that back up. It's a good sit cloth, fire lay holder, scarf. I love that. Just a versatile piece of gear I keep right in here, and that just rides right in there. So next up, we'll go with some of the bigger bags. I'll go with my map and compass. You can see Forbes State Forest, that's where I'm at. That's my normal stomping ground. It's got that and my Brunton compass in here. That just slides down the front of the pack, in between the pack and the wool blanket. Next up, I have my shelter kit. This has these are in Kafaru pullouts. This is a 10 by 12 Edua tarp, the Sil nylon version. In here I have 6 tent stakes, ridge line, and my guy outlines. And everything's set up in there for a few different tarp setups. And that rides right in a, I think that's a large Kafaro pullout. That sits flat right on top of the wool blanket. Excuse that. Next up is my food bag. I have everything in here, some homemade sauce, gonna make some pizza here soon. My dough, cheese, and some seasonings in this 1790 spice kit. That's made out of wax canvas. Got a few of their items, very high quality, highly recommended if anybody's looking for stuff like that. And unlike a lot of traditional style gear that's made from wax canvas, it's not super expensive. It's very affordable. Very common man, as Dave Canterbury would say. Oil, and I just have an open L that rides in here for food prep and stuff. So that's my food bag for today. Next up is my rope bag. Again, another Kafaro pullout. I have some 1-inch webbing I keep in here for some projects I'm going to do. Paracord and some 18 tarred bank line. What we got next? This is my ditty bag. Kind of a catch-all. I have some bug spray, headlamp, sharpening stone, DC4, and my Yuko lantern. That's what rides in here. I don't usually carry spare candles for the Yuko. Usually I just throw a fresh one in if it's getting low before my trip and go from there. Next up is my personal care bag. This is some Gold Bond powder, a couple dude wipes, and some lip balm. I get chapped lips, I chafe, so that's always a good thing. Something I always carry is that Gold Bond medicated powder. Next in, I'm going this way a little bit, I have my spare camera accessories. I got another lens in here, some batteries, lapel mics, different things I need for running my camera and shooting videos. That just lives right here on the top of the pack. Getting down to the last couple things. My fire kit lives right on top of the pack. Excuse me. Nothing too extensive. A couple pieces of fat wood, 2 candles, pocket bellows, matches, and a couple wet fire tabs. I always have these with me. This is guaranteed fire. Between that and my lighter, that guarantees me fire. Also carry a little magnesium pencil sharpener. If it's wet out, this is going to let you make really fine shavings really quick. I know Really Big Monkey did a kind of disservice, I think, in a video not too long ago, just shitting on pencil sharpeners. If you pack something like this for the purpose of just making fine shavings, it's really a game changer when it's in wet weather, especially up here in the northern part of the country. It can get very cold in the winter, very wet. It's just helpful when you start losing your mechanical abilities in your fingers to just shove a piece of dry stick in there and kind of just twist it off. Last thing I carry in here for part of my fire kit is a spare striker for my ferro rod. It's just a Corona carbide sharpener. That lives in there. Fire kit sits right here on top. What else we got over here? One of the last things that goes in, I keep at the top of my pack, is my shit kit. This is some toilet paper, a couple dude wipes, and some hand sanitizer for after doing your business. Shit kit stays at the top of the pack. One of the essential items I think a lot of people just overlook. I'm not a minimalist camper, clearly, guys. I'm out here to have a good time and enjoy myself. I like working on things, and I like just enjoying my time out here. I've done that anymore. I just want to come out, set my stuff up, enjoy my time, and usually enjoy a good book. Last couple of things that go on top. My This is a signal pouch from Frost River. Inside, I just have a shemag and an extra pair of wool socks. Overnighter, this is, I'll take usually my sweater or another piece of clothing, and I shove it in here, and this makes a nice little pillow. This was actually my first intro to Frost River gear. I've had this for a long time. And then on top of that, last thing I usually pack is my grill in this pack. This is a Purcell Trench Traveler's Streamside grill. These are handmade in Oregon. If you have one, you know these things are super high quality, handmade, American source steel or titanium, all handmade by a gentleman who's retiring this year. So if you do want a Purcell Trench grill, now's the time to get it. Don did say he's retiring this year, so if you want a grill, now's the time to order. That rides right here on top. On top of that, right now, I have a new knife I'm just testing out, having some fun with, and that's the Essie Hungless 2. Normally I don't carry a bunch of knives, but out here today I'm going to have some fun with this. Excited to play with this and put it through its paces. My old gloves were getting worn out, so I just picked up a new pair today on the way from Tractor Supply. Just a pair of rawhide gloves for work. And those just ride right on top. Get this closed up, and then I'll go over my cutting tools, the things I carry on me. So my neck knife I carry right now is a, Spyderco Bow River. Nice little knife, mainly a food prep. It's not a heavy use knife, but that's not what my neck knife's intended for. It's sharp, it's a good cutting tool, and that's what I'm using right now as a neck knife, the Spyderco Phil Wilson Bow River. On my belt and in my pocket knife right now I've been carrying is an Essie Chirp D2. It's a liner lock, simple penknife style knife. It's usually all I carry as far as a pocket knife. On my belt I have a Victorinox Swiss tool. By far my favorite multi-tool. Just like their SAKs, Victorinox doesn't skimp. Their multi-tools are top of the line. And my belt knife is my Bob Dozier KS7 Wilderness knife. D2 tool steel, handmade in Arkansas in the US. Those are my cutting tools, along with my Grants Force axe and my Silky saw. Lastly, part of my kit is my Frost River shoulder bag. This is the XL shell bag. I don't usually keep too much in here, a couple snacks. I have a tinder pouch for gathering bark and stuff as I'm going into camp. Just one of the Wazoo foraging bandanas. I just keep that in there, use it to wipe stuff off. Nice little handy bandana. What else do I got in here? Actually, I talk about books. The book I brought with me today to read is Alan Watts, Become What You Are. A huge Alan Watts fan. If anybody knows Alan Watts, his lectures, his talks, mindfulness, he goes through all of anything you can think of. Alan Watts talks about. One of my favorite authors, one of my favorite philosophers, thinkers that I've found. Other than that, only other thing in here, my giant elk antler fire steel. I carry that in here, just too big. Sometimes it'll go in my pocket, but usually I just keep it in my shoulder bag. And other than that, I got a small tripod for my camera and a Zippo. So that's all that's in there. And the only other two things that aren't in my pack, which would go right on top, are my ground cloth right here. That is just a USMC Marpat tarp. That's what I use for my ground cloth, and I'm on my kneeling pad right now. So that's it, guys. That's my woodcraft and camping kit for late winter, early spring 2024. If you have any questions about any of the pieces of gear, if you want to see a detailed breakdown of anything like my fire kit, the way I have my rope kit set up, my shelter kit, first aid, my food bag, whatever it may be, just let me know in the comments. Thank you all for all of your support throughout the years. Feel good getting back here, like I said. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate everyone here. Really appreciate getting back into the community. And thank you guys for showing up. Take it easy, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.